Here's where the money is made. Look, we talked a little bit about what the offer needs to be, the calendar, the timeline, and now we talk about the creative, the money maker. Creative is the currency during major moments. And this major moment, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, there is no exception. It really is. The majority of time you're gonna be spending is gonna be on the offer creation as soon as we understand what products we're selling, which we're gonna know that before October 22nd, the latest. I would love that before. I love that October 15th, but October 22nd. But then we're gonna move into what assets need to be supported. And so this section, we're gonna talk about the nitty gritty, the minimum amount of assets that you need to be making, when these need to go live. And I'm gonna show you some real examples of stuff that's ran in the past, 2023, 2024, and I'll give you some other ones to keep an eye out of. But moving forward, if you're in the D2C space, if you're in the direct to consumer space, if you're selling online during major moments, you need to be pulling a swipe file. You need to be pulling, screenshotting, saving these ads on Instagrams, because this is where the money is made. Communication of the offer, clear as kind, clear as cash. We already talked about that when we kicked this off. So here's what I mean by this. In this video, I really want to talk about how do we plan, what are we producing, when are these being launched, what is the thought process around it. So I am going to talk about timelines here, but I don't want us to get too caught up on this. I do want to hold you a little bit accountable to how this needs to be made, but generally speaking, try to be as close as you can to what I'm recommending here, okay? Let's go in. Our pre-launch, our Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend, and our post-Black Friday, Cyber Monday holiday season are really 4 seasons within this core season of holiday. The pre-launch is usually going to be teaser, motion graphic, subtle videos, countdown timers, opt-in landing pages, and headline banners. Those are all design elements that have to be communicating each step of the way. So we have that pre-Black Friday, Cyber Monday, that's October 22nd to really early November 15th range this year. And it's in the ads, it's on the landing pages, it's in the pop-ups. It's really communicating what the offer is going to be or what the offer currently is, if it's going to be a pre-sale, pre-opportunity right there. Now, this is where I don't want to scare you guys, but I am going to be honest. I'm going to tell you why I feel this way and why I think you will understand it, especially if you've done this for the last couple of years. You need more ads. Just like you're gonna need more emails, you're gonna need more ads. Specifically, if you're a high SKU store, if you have many, many SKUs, if you have a lot of things to sell, you need 40 to 60 ads. I'm not talking variations of one, I'm talking 40 to 60 unique ads. It could be a same concept. The concept could be the offer with product. The concept could be a best performing image with the offer, with the discount, with the incentive. 40 to 60 branded. Now, it doesn't have to be all at once. We can do this in waves, right? We have that October section before the 22nd. We have that pre, which is going to be right there early November until about November 15th. Then you have the Black Friday, Cyber Monday moment. You have the early Black Friday, Cyber Monday, which could be on the 24th, 25th. But really, this is how many assets we need to do. On the lower SKU store, you can get away with 20 to 40 total unique assets. What matters the most to us is the timeline in which we're creating these and the variety that's in the account. We're not testing here, right? Like, we're tried and true, the same is gonna win. Fight the urge to let your creative director and your super creative fairies on the team that say we need diversification, we need differences. No, we do not. We need to generate revenue and we need to keep the brand aesthetics the same the entire time. Production. I want this timeline. 7 weeks before Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Where does that put us out, Dad? That is October to the week of October 22nd. We need to make sure that we have, this is 7 weeks before we go live. This is where we have the overall concepts that what we're going to show. And I'm going to show you some of these core concepts when we go in the example. Everything needs to be finalized in the last 2 weeks of that 7-week sprint. And then everything is going live that 1 week right before the Black Friday Cyber moment. We want to make sure that those ads are live and built in the ad account. They don't have to be turned on, but they need to be built in the ad account. I'm not making these or uploading these on the day. This is already going to be in the account. We all know what happens with Meta, especially anything that happened this year around July when the Andromeda effect really went into play. We want to make sure that we have no platform issues. September has been wild. October, I am assuming it's gonna be just as September, like it is every single year. The platform does tend to die on us sometimes. I hate to say it, but it's just a fact. We need to get loaded in the account. So the pre-Black Friday phase, October 1, I even say, I would even bigger group, October 1 to the 22nd. Realistically, it's October 1st to the 22nd. This is the foundation. We are loading in 8 to 12 evergreen top performing assets. These things have been producing since January. These things were the best producers for our Mother's Day or Father's Day sale. This was our biggest summer solstice sale. These are our evergreen top performers. We know that these convert regardless of what the offer is going to be, this is most likely your evergreen assets. Usually it is the images. If it's a video, I'll show you some really cool examples of how to make it relevant for the moment that you can apply it in. We're gonna launch between 3 to 5 gift for yourself angles. People forget about this angle. Everybody talks about buy X for your husband, buy X for your wife, buy X for your partner, buy X for your boss. But what about buy for yourself? Treat yourself moments. I think this is this area that we're in. Regardless of what's going on in the world, we do like to enjoy a little something for ourselves. And look, if we can't afford major things, little luxuries are important. Shout out to a couple guys that like to talk about this. This is a little bit of a lipstick economy in the current moment, but treating yourself angles must be used. And why not? It's a POV angle anyways, and it's usually what we have most of on the evergreen side. So I really need 3 to 5 of these in this early stage launch to see if it can sustain some sort of conversion elements pre higher CPM moment. And then we're gonna launch 2 to 3 early gifting ideas. So this is ideally end of September, beginning of October, trying to get the thought process of gifting because we'll get a lot more run on this because we can put it all the way to the end of December too, which is kind of nice. In mid-October, we're talking the 16th to the 31st, we're getting a little bit closer to the early November stage. We're gonna drop 4 to 6 more teaser creatives. We're not doing offers. This is biggest sale of the year is coming, new products about to drop, anything that we can allude to what is about to happen to start letting people know this. You could say I wanna run this on a different optimization other than driving for conversion, just to see the reduction of CPMs. I still want to optimize for conversion. That's still the right consumer here. But if the CPMs are too expensive at this moment and you don't want to kind of piss off the buying cohort, you can optimize in Meta for a little bit higher reach, video view engagement, just to start getting the message out. And I actually wouldn't be afraid of you running that to your remarketing audience, not optimizing for conversion. I don't feel too strongly about that, but I do think it's worth a test if you have limited budget. We're then going to start testing 2 to 3 BTS or warehouse visuals. Pick, pack, in the house, product being made, boxes being folded, maybe loaded onto the truck. I do want to show them a little bit behind the scenes here. Depending on if you are more of a red velvet brand or you want to keep the integrity there, try to keep it as cool as possible. Try not to go overdo it or make yourself look kind of too amateur. It happens, but we want to avoid it. We are not talking about this point. We're still at, again, October 16th to 31st. We're not talking about any pre-Black Friday offers. Unless you want to go early, because that is a part of your strategy. I really don't want to use the words pre-Black Friday. I don't want them to start seeing this yet. You will see it. People will be starting to talk about this, but at this moment, I don't want us to go too deep into it. Now we're early November, November 1, 22nd. This is the final prep. So this is what we're doing now is now we've been live since September and October. We've taken the evergreen ads that have no offer on them. We've taken some of our best performing offers or images that ran in previous campaign holidays. And now we're doing 2 things. One, we're overlaying specific words and communicating what the offer is going to be. Is it a lot of text? Is it in the body copy? Is it a moving border? We'll talk about the examples in a second. And we're just keeping our best evergreen ads already running and making sure that they're pointing to the correct landing page. Sometimes we'll run this site wide. Sometimes it's going to be a unique locked in landing page. We want our best performing evergreen, even if they have no offer on it, it's still running and live. We're also going to prepare anywhere between 5 to 15. Why that range is so big, I'll explain in a second. 5 to 15 simple offer images of product, whatever the product is that we're selling, with the discount, with the offer, with the incentive sitting right there, plain image. And lastly, I really want, and we talked about this at the beginning, 2 to 3 founder or teammate videos. Hey guys, here's what the product is. Here's what we're selling. I have a great example of this for you guys to see too, from our brand, actually, our founder, and talking about what happens around this Black Friday ceremony and what it means to us around the product and the usage, etc. So that is so important. Now, we're gonna get right into the Black Friday. This is the Black Friday zone, November 23rd to the 27th, the day before and the day of the overall launch. Before this happens, 23rd of November, 8 to 10 offer images loaded with the offer that we're running, that we've been learning from the evergreen ads, that we've been learning from the pre-push, and now we're in the go zone. 8 to 10 loaded in the ad account on the 23rd before everything goes live. No later than 27th, I'll tell you that much. If you can't get to the 23rd, the 27th is a must. 10 to 15 evergreen best performing ads with the offer overlays are going live. At this point, we should have at least 3 best performing founder videos. We can now run any variation there, plain text, just stills. And lastly, I would say any between 1 to 2 BTS warehouse, shipping, product leaving the door. If this didn't perform in your early test in mid-October, don't run it back. Stick with the evergreen, stick with the stills, stick with the text overlays. I want to make sure that we always have, I'm gonna pause for a second. I want you to hear this. I want you to understand this. All winning evergreen ads that do not communicate an offer should still be running. Feels weird, feels like it's non-congruent to the brand, it feels some type of way. These will be your highest and best performing ads. It happens to me every year. Every single year. People are like, why is this running? There's no offer. I'm like, thinking about this. I see an ad, I'm already convinced to make this purchase. There's no offer communication, so I'm fully convinced with this specific ad. I land on the page, whether the banner, whether the homepage, whether the bundle is there, and then the incentive hits you. Of course I'm gonna convert. I wasn't expecting anything, and I all of a sudden landed, and I'm surprised, I'm delighted, and I'm excited. So I'm going to make that purchase. So I do think we do not give it enough credit. Please continue to allow the evergreen to run. And now we're heading to the back half of it. The peak volume of everything running in these accounts. Granted, we're talking about what we need to do to make decisions on the day of. We should have anywhere between 15 to 45 ads running in the ad account. I'm not gonna talk to you about structure, that's a whole other conversation, but we should be aesthetically seeing anywhere between 20 to 45 fully live with some sort of spend in the ad account for me to feel confident that I have enough ammunition to play. The way that this would scale is dependent on, are you participating Black Friday? Do you care enough to create this many? Do you have the ability to create this many? Remember, a lot of these are images. So a lot of these are gonna be still, so don't have to be heavy video work here. So I do think it's possible for you to get it done. Do your best to land in between this page because you're gonna need it, especially if things go right, which we wanna plan and prepare for. And if it doesn't go right, if it goes wrong, we want to make sure we have enough variety there that we're not having to upload the day of, because you and I both know the budget never gets utilized if I'm loading that morning on Black Friday. It just kind of sucks. Then we move into the post Black Friday, the pre-Christmas. This is the 28th to the 23rd. Realistically, it's like the 28th to like December 14th where the shipping cutoff tends to be. And we're refreshing 5 to 8 offer statics that are going to say last chance. So now we have our best performing evergreen stills, maybe some videos with the founder, and we're communicating the last chance to take advantage of it. So the offer either can continue to run, give it a couple more days. You're not being facetious, you're not being fake. This is real, but we want to get that live before we turn off that overall offer. And you could have that preloaded and active in the account just with the text over like last chance, act now, get it before it's gone kind of communication. And then we'll go into, this is where we actually get a launch, some Cyber Monday only variations. So the same place of best performers where you have the last chance. Remember, this is right after Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Those ads can continue to run. The lesser performing ones off, making sure that they're duplicated so that the Cyber Monday ads communicating Cyber Monday, it is still a major moment. I want to make sure that there's multiple moments. I know I use the acronym BFCM, Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Those are still 2 unique moments that people are still learning to understand, because back in the day, maybe you experienced this. Black Friday used to mean something. The day after Thanksgiving, we used to go out, wait in line, go to Best Buy, and actually have to like fight to get the product that we want. It's usually a TV. We're usually buying TVs that we do not need. But now we come home, we sit on our phones, we start scrolling on Amazon, we start scrolling all the emails that are just blowing us up. We start getting all these text messages from brands that we do not want to hear from, but that's the game. And we're on the other side of it. We're no longer the consumer. It might be the consumer. We might be consuming a couple things, I won't lie here. But we are creating and formulating the offers and the incentives for them to participate, because everybody's here. Everybody's here and everybody's here. And that is where the real offer is. It's no longer in store. So get online, start selling, and think through the product offer perfectly. So if you're a consumer and you're consuming this type of content, knowing that we are trying to make you spend your money, yeah, only buy if you want it though. So I'm not trying to force you into anything. Then I have 2 sections left. We have the holiday gifting push, which is December 2nd to the 15th. Depending on how you're shipping, where you're shipping, and the style of your shipment, usually it's anywhere between, on this year, December 13th to the 15th, to do a guaranteed shipping buy, which is important because what we really want is a lot of this messaging that we've been learning from the Black Friday moment or our previous major campaigns. This is what I'm telling you guys, you need 25 to 45 assets because you have so many different things to communicate. Best performers now angled towards gifting. Best performers now angled towards gifting to a specific segment of your consumer base. For husband, for wife, for son, for mom. There's so many of these variations, but we have to call it out because being specific is what the new Andromeda update means. It's because it wants it to be specific to the consumer who could take the best action to get the result for the advertiser, which is what? Converting on the offer. So it all ties in together. I know you guys are starting to see this. I know you guys are starting to understand how this all plays together, which is awesome. I'm stoked for you. You're gonna add 4 to 6 brand new gifting statics. So you already have best performance here. Put a little bit of a jingle into it, put a little bit of Christmas onto it, tint it a little bit. This could be very simple. It could be moving, snowing graphics. I really like those placements as well. And then you can add in 2 to 3 perfect gift founder videos. Stocking stuffer, shipping deadline. So there's a lot of things to communicate right after we get after Cyber Monday. But again, we do not want to be loading in this account. We want this to already be loaded. So a lot of the heavy lifting is in October. You will still have to call audibles. You'll still have to build in the account. But if I can get you to get most of this done, you're in a good spot. Final, last segment of consumers, December 16th to the 23rd, last chance Christmas delivery. Make sure you can actually say that and not be frustrated, or communicate deepest discount, get it after Christmas. A fun angle that not too many people are communicating with, and I've had this happen to me many times. They basically print out the order confirmation and you get it in a card. And so you're opening up, you're like, oh, what is this card? And it goes, oh, I just bought it for you, but it's not gonna come for a couple more days. I get this all the time. People give this to me all the time. I give this to people all the time. It shows that I made this purchase, but you're just not gonna get it by Christmas time because I just actually realized I wanted to get you that. Play into that. It means if you can get a deep enough incentive that it's worth the consumer waiting for it, they'll buy it, keep it going. This is where we get to talk about digital gift cards. We can convince a consumer to spend some money, send the gift card an email, or give it printed out for them to have it. This is a really nice place to play in. And the last overlays you need is express shipping. If you can offer it, if you can afford to do it, if you can make a little bit of margin, which you should, then we definitely need to introduce it there. Great job. Overall, I'm gonna give you some high level, and then we're gonna go into some really cool examples. Bear with me right now. Key don'ts. Do not turn off evergreen winners. Do not invent a brand new concept that you're not convinced to some degree of certainty and go live during major moments like this. Do not run pre-Black Friday offers cannibalizing the actual Black Friday offer unless it's going to be the same offer the entire time. It will piss off your customer base. If you're small enough, maybe it won't, but there will be people frustrated with this overall if you're gonna continually change it and talk about how deep it is. Overall, the timing philosophy that I'm thinking about is the Q4 this is a double down era. If you look on your keyboard, you type in Q, Shift 4, what does that create for you? Q money, quarter of the money. So Q4, Q money, let's make sure that we're doing it correctly. Always reuse, overlay rather than build from scratch. Don't reinvent the wheel. Simple beats clever, clear is kind, clear is cash. Never forget. What I will say is I'm gonna synthesize exactly these uploads so that you can kind of pull it up right here. October 1st, evergreen foundation and early gifting. November 1st, offer overlays, founder heavy content on the offer specifically. November 22nd, Black Friday offer statics start to go live, increasing the incentive for people to kind of be ready for it, opting in early. November 25th and 6th and 7th, pre-Black Friday, if you're participating in it. 28th, variations die from the Black Friday. We start transitioning over into Cyber Monday, get a couple of days to spend on it. December 2nd, shift into the gifting focus. December 16th, last time, buy before you can get it. You can extend it depending on your shipping or last mile verbiage. Overall, here's the structure of this. 60% of this are variations of proven evergreen winners. Look at all your SKUs. It's stuff that's already done. You don't have to be super creative here. 30% will be simple, offer-related content, motion graphic simplicity, and 10% will be founder or BTS or team content. That's video, very small percentage of video. I just don't want you to overcomplicate this year. I want you to maintain the confidence because the last thing we want to be doing is uploading during a time where we should be monitoring and increasing or decreasing overall budgets on the day of activity. And so I want you to care about this. So let's go in. We're going to check a couple of these assets on the 4Play board where I have a handful of Black Friday Cyber Monday assets that I've been collecting over the last couple of years. And I'll share this with you guys at the end so you guys can see your own examples. I'll show you right here. Let's dig in. All right, guys. So we have a collection of assets across all different industries from about 2023 to 2024, some that are actually live recently. And I'm going to talk through why these do so well. You're going to realize when they're done with this, how simple it actually is to execute this. I'm not going to talk about using AI or not using AI. Whatever you need to do to get the volume is what you need to be doing. So this first one comes from Drink Breeze. This is our founder. And so I'll play this one for you guys real quick.
This is our biggest offer ever. We're offering $15 in store credit on drinkbreeze.com using code BFCM for a limited time only.
So this was a variation of an ad that was one of our best performers all year long. Aaron talking about the product in his backyard, selling it. So what we are able to do is we're able to communicate specifically what the offer is, code Black Friday Cyber Monday. And I didn't get to tell you this, but I am not a huge fan of using codes. You're gonna see some of these ads as we go. The reason why I'm not a huge fan of using a code is because if they forget the code, they don't get to participate on this. So I want it to be an automatic applied code, or if they click these ads, or if the code is automatically applied at checkout. The only other argument people can say about this is, oh, well, what if they don't use it? I want to save the margin on it. We want the conversion. We want that customer in that moment. Don't get too stick with making sure that it does not auto apply. We want it to auto apply. So he continues to sell it. It's 1 minute and 26 seconds. He sells it, he does it fantastic. Best performer, let's move on to the next one. So simple, so straightforward, very clear. Pero does a really good job. Cyber Monday is here, big and bold. Our sale just got even better. So this, you could already tell that it started to increase. So if this was a lower funnel, if this was top of funnel, it's still clearly communicating that the offer got much better. Hopefully, nobody's frustrated by this because they might have to honor that 25% off site-wide, especially if it emails in. They communicate what the offer and the code is going to be, and they very, very clearly communicate when the offer is going to go away. Cannot be combined with other offers or discounts applied. They take it one step further, which is incredible. That's a full-on disclaimer, and I really kudos to them on pushing this. But all it is, probably one of their best performing stills. And it looks like this is a dynamic creative optimization because the different format is sitting right here. Build your bundle, pregnancy safe bundle overall. This is mixer, 25% off, site-wide. Simple, easy, good text overlay. Another incredible example, this is a nice little text overlay. Dockers, seems like there's a couple variations on this one. Yep. Different sizing, cool. Depending on the placement, all in. Outerwear, 30% off. Very straightforward, very clean, very easy to understand. You're gonna see these trends. I don't even think this is one of the better creatives, but it's still gonna communicate and pop off the page just a little bit. Cyber Monday event, 25% off site-wide, plus free total lash. I highlighted this one specifically because they did a good job of communicating and showcasing all the freebies that they're going to get. Now, I do think it's a little bit more text than I like to love. Do we have to call it the Cyber Monday event? We all know it's a holiday season at this point. I think this does take up a little bit of space. I would probably remove the Cyber Monday comment. We know what it is. There's two different camps. The camps that kind of blend in and say, we actually want to talk about the moment, Cyber Monday, Black Friday. There's other that just want to talk about gifting for you, for me. Simple, clear, well done. Great way to make a nice little motion moving graphic. This is Caraway. So simple. Cyber Monday, a little bit of motion graphic. Why it's important, like this could have been an image, correct? But when you have an image, it doesn't take up ad placement of a video. And so you can have the same image and the video, they can perform widely different because the placement within the platform or Meta is going to be much different too. So I love it. It's once in a year savings event here. Enjoy up to 20% off site-wide, all the best-selling kitchenware. Clean, smooth, simple. This was an interesting one. I wanted to highlight this one because this is not typical how I would run things. But I want to talk about why I think this works. First one, very clear. Black Friday is live. Shop 30% off almost everything with code Friday30. 30% off bestsellers is telling the Christmas collection, the starter pack, plus every $20 is entry to win a Jimmy. This is so much communication on a plain image. This all could have been in the ad itself. Why wasn't it in the ad itself? I don't know. Dynamic creative, naked harvest all the way through. What are you stocking up on during our biggest sale of the year? It's linking to everything there. So what it's trying to do, now you can get here at the same place if I did shop now, but generally speaking, this whole link is ugly. Who knows if it gets the job done, but it is very, very different. I do like the fact that they call it off, includes all full subs, accessories, all the starter, all the benefits that you're going to get. It is pretty unique. It's a little much for me. Caraway had another one. Just still images. It's probably some of the best performers, honestly. Cyber Monday is here, save up to X% off. Best selling. This is just a variation. I love this one as well. This was super clear. This is how you get some of your best performing UGC or best performing styles of UGC with simple text overlay. So now you see the product, the tip, the person it's best for, the offer, the incentive, and just a good old ad, just a good old plain ad. Nothing super unique about it other than it's communicating exactly what they want. Who's it for? Someone that looks like this. Here's the tip. It's probably important. And it's just a simple text overlay. It's really well done, good repurposement. Same as Black Friday, you can see clear communication, free limited edition watch, Black Friday early bird sale. The early bird is get in now. There's no really major urgency, but what is urgent is that it's a limited edition watch. Limited edition, I'm not gonna be able to get it. If I really want it, I can get it early. Good communication. And I think the way that True runs their style is they get a unique password to get access into the account. I've seen this done before. The reason why I try not to do this is because I don't want to limit or add more barriers. I do believe in the exclusivity of the business and the brand and the positioning of this. But if I'm limiting the access for consumers to make a purchase, just one more hoop that people might not want to go through, or it might be one more click that they want to go deep in. Jones Rope, they have a variety of these styles, which I kind of like. So simple and straight to the point. Sold out in 24 hours last Black Friday. The mini Miracle Balm set. Get yours while supplies last. Stays on brand. Clearly communicates the offer. Baked in incentive. Baked in urgency. So clean and simple. I love it. Same exact style. So look at that first one into this one. They knew what they were doing. Now they're getting there's a little bit of relationships across all of them. Our most requested release is finally here, the Miracle Balm set. Why I like this, it's the same shoot, different variations, different style, different aesthetics overall. Really well done. I think this is their third variation of this. Black Friday sale, the perfect time to try Miracle Balm. Again, all that flat lay, clear communication, 4, 6, 8, build your mini, build your bundle. I love it. I had to call this one out. I actually found this one first before I saw the other ones. But the fact that they have like this Black Friday shopping list that's very native to the phone, they get it. These people, they're digital first, digital forward. I like how they did it because this is very true. 4 for my aunt, 6 for my sister. So it really nailed who this is and spec to the demographic. It's kind of like that. Well done. For apparel brands that are needing to showcase a plethora of things that might potentially be on sale, the easiest way for you to do that is with motion graphic and subtle movement. Now, this is the same thing going back and forth. The reason why they run this for 1 second, because again, playing with the placements. If you had the different SKUs that are on sale that had different incentives, 30% off up to 60% off sale styles, 30% off everything, plus up to 60% off sale styles. Clearly communicates. It looks like a lot of text right here, but it clearly communicates what it is that's going to be. I do think this is a great way of positioning it. And in the text itself, up to 60% off everything is a very clear way to show it. And I have so many of these. Without going into all of these things, I'm gonna make sure I share this with you guys so you guys can understand and enjoy the variety of what goes into it, and don't reinvent the wheel. It is very straightforward. I'll show you 2 or 3 more that I really think does a good job of repurposing good content. The offer, buy one, get one. This is clear UGC. This is clear the offer. Don't overthink it. Simplicity, repurposement, communicate what the offer is going to be. Same exact thing, they go into this one. Buy one, get one. What are they getting? Where are you seeing it? It's very straightforward and clear. I think where people get really caught up in Black Friday is they know that they have to do so much volume, but we do not want to happen. Look, this was ours last year. So we had 2 variations of this. I really enjoyed this. We're giving you $15. Why? What did I do? Why am I getting this? That's what the discount's going to be. Because we wanted to communicate the clear dollars to savings, I really don't want people to do a ton of math. What does 25% off mean? 25% off might mean $4, might be $6, might be $8. If I can be very clear and tell them $15 off, $30 off, that is a very good enough incentive because we're trying to capture a little bit of attention. I also like this, and this is more ethereal, which is kind of like our vibe and our style, but this definitely popped off. On brand, biggest offer ever. What is the offer? I'm curious, now I'm interested. That was fun. It did really well for us last year too. And I have 2 more that I'll show you. Yeah, you guys have a ton of fun going through some of these things, but you'll see, generally speaking, communicate the offer, be as clear as you possibly can, and you have a good time. To end on this specific talk around the creative side, talking about congruency of alignment. It starts with the product and the margins that we want to run from. It starts with the moments that we want to participate in. Pre, day before VIP, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, days of Christmas. What moments are we participating in based upon the margin and based upon our Q4 targets are going to be, and build according to plan. Lean into the email strategy, lean into the email structure. The ads, the page, and the email communication should all be as congruent as possible around the offers. That's why keep the offer consistent. Because if not, you have to update the banners, you have to update the pages, you have to update the flows. There's so much more work to be done there. And just keep it clear and keep it kind. At this point of the year, the last thing we want to do is overcomplicate things. It's already been a long time. We want to spend time with our family. We want to do everything and make sure that it's as smooth as humanly possible. So don't overcomplicate it. Clear as kind, clear as cash, because that big moment is coming. Black Friday, Cyber Monday. How do we make the most in this moment? We'll see you there.